Happy first week of 2018. How's your 2018 going? Did you set a bunch of goals and are you like crushing them? Or are you, maybe you've already failed a whole bunch. Happy Saturday, I'm Carrie, welcome back. That's the point of this video really, is to talk about like goals or your resolutions, because I think it's important to have goals. I'm pretty sure I said that in my last video, like set goals for yourself. It's important to have purpose and try to better yourself. But it's also okay if you can't attain all of those goals, and it's okay if you fail. It is way, way better in life to have failed at hundreds of things than to have never tried any of those hundreds of things. That just means that you tried new things, you tried to better yourself, you probably have been trying to better your family or your community or something. You've been trying things, and that is so important in life because I just feel like it is. Maybe you disagree with me. You can talk to me about that below if you want, but I think that's really important. So the message of this video is it's okay if you are already not crushing every single one of your 2018 goals one weekend. And like, maybe your goal was to drink more water this year, and you're like, man, I have not met my water goal one single day this week. But you probably are drinking a lot more water than you were last week. So you have still been making small improvements. If you were like, I'm gonna go to the gym 4 days a week and you've only been once, okay, that's one time that you were successful. It's really easy to focus on like the negatives and the failures and feel really like failures, I guess, if we're not absolutely crushing things at all times. And I don't want you to feel that way. And for whatever reason, like I just feel like this is a video I need to make and talk about. And maybe you can come back and look at it like, I don't know, April, May, September, whenever you were like, ugh, I'm just feeling like downtrodden and beaten down by life or goals or school or whatever. And just remind yourself that you've also had a lot of successes in life and a lot of successes in 2018, probably just in this first year. I also want to talk a little bit about how that applies to transition. And I realized when I was like doing my own like 2018 goals that none of them have anything to do with my transition. None of them. I mean, I have like a few goals for this channel, which is the closest, but like I'm here, like this is what I'm doing. I have achieved physically like where I want to be. I may or may not stay on T. That's kind of indefinite, like just till I feel like I don't want to be on it anymore, if that's the case. I am not pursuing any other type of surgery. This is me, right? But it's really easy, I think, especially before you get to this point, so easy to compare yourself to other people, and for good reason, because some of it is like research for yourself, or just like, oh, I didn't know. Like when you first start to like understand yourself, you look for other people like you, like what was their journey like? How did they come out to their family? How did they come out to their friends? How did they start HRT? How did they save for surgery? Like I bet a lot of your goals are, or at least a few of them, maybe one, are somehow centered around your transition if that's something you're trying to do, whether it's socially, physically, or both. You might be saving money towards a surgery. You might be like trying out a new name and pronouns for the first time. I don't know, like whatever you're doing, it is great. I'm really proud of you. Keep doing it. You are crushing it. Even if you've had some setbacks, you're still doing something for you, and that's important. But it's really easy to like get into this comparison thing where you start to see a lot of people who are public about their transition doing similar things, right? So like, top surgery, I will say, one of the like Facebook groups I belong to for non-binary transition, it's kind of a recurring topic that comes up. People that, especially I think because they're non-binary, are on the fence about if they want top surgery. Was not the case for me. I knew I wanted top surgery, but I am in the minority, I think, in that population, and so it's really common for people to say, well, I'm seeing all of these other people do this, so that must mean that's how I'm supposed to be an AFAB non-binary person. And that's not necessarily the case. You could be a trans man and not want top surgery. So it might seem like all of these people are doing this. This is a small number of people who are somewhat public about their transition, first of all. And even smaller things, like I'll use myself as an example. There were a couple YouTubers that I still watch that are non-binary and One of them had been doing a low dose of tea for like maybe 2 years before I started, so I was kind of looking to them, and then another one who started like right before I did. So it's really interesting to see like these are kind of general changes for someone on a lower dose of tea, and then to have like someone where we were somewhat going through similar things, and our transition was very different, and so it was just interesting to see how they compared and what was different, what we had in common and not, right? Like, that's healthy, but it's really easy to get caught up in the like, well, why did they get this change and I didn't? Or feeling like somewhat less than or inadequate as a non-binary person or a trans person because you might not want the same things, or it's harder for you to achieve that goal for whatever reason, financially, family issues. I'm having a hard time staying focused today, but that's it. Like, I guess I want to encourage you to look to other people for like inspiration and just information, but not comparatively. Whatever, so like transition wise, you do you, and that's a lot easier to say than to actually do sometimes, because it's easy to feel a lot of pressure in society and from other people to not necessarily do you, especially if the you that you want to do is somewhat unconventional. That was an awkward sentence, but I think it's true. I think it's easy to tell people like, just do you, but it's a lot harder to be a person that goes out there and lives that and lives their truth that boldly all of the time. And it's okay to do. So anyways, like, I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. Keep crushing it. Keep knowing that your little failures are just that. They're little, even your big failures. Okay, if you failed big, that means you were trying something big. And just, if it's something you want, go for it. What's that, like, you only regret the chances you never take, right? Like, I think that's very true. If you really want something, go after it. When you have those setbacks, view them as that, setbacks, learning experiences. What can you do better? That like growth mindset, if you're familiar with that terminology of you can always be improving. And sometimes if you're like, man, I am exhausted from everything I've been trying to do, maybe one of your goals should also be to like balance that out and give yourself permission to like sit down. I have a hard time sitting down to watch like a hour-long, 45-minute long TV program like on Hulu or Netflix or something with minimal or no commercials, because I always feel like I need to be doing something. And part of that is like ADHD related, but I just always feel like I have to go, and sometimes it's okay and your body needs that like ability to recharge. So to recap, because we've probably all lost the thread of what I'm talking about, don't compare yourself to other people transition-wise or in life. Yes, it's okay to follow people and pay attention and ask questions and aspire to similar things, but make sure you're aspiring to something that you want, not what you think other people want for you. Keep crushing it. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.